But here's the story. Okay, so I called my dad because I'm an idea girl. I'm going to the Air Force, okay? I'm going to the Air Force, and this was around Operation Desert Storm. And I love our first responders, our soldiers, military members. Hats off to them, honor all of that. And I wanted to be one of them. And so I said, new idea, Dad. I'm switching college again, and I'm going to the Air Force. And he's like, what? Yeah, he lost it. And I said, I talked to the recruiter, Air Force recruiter. They said they can send me to Texas, to aviation school. And he thought, they're lying to you. They just want you to join Desert Storm. You just need to finish college. And I'd already made him so many times that I thought maybe he's right. Maybe I do need to finish college. Have you ever seen any women fighter jet pilots? And this is back in the late 90s. Anyway, so I finished college. I move on with my life. I am 14 years into my legal career, and I go to this conference a business conference with the great David Nagel, and I'm at a microphone, and he's asking me, what do you want to do for your life? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? And I'm in this room, and I'm in front of hundreds of people, and he's asking me what I want to do and what I want to be. And I'm like, and I'm not one who is usually at a loss for words. I had nothing, okay? And so he said, notice, you didn't say you want to be a law firm owner and a lawyer, which was totally confusing because I really love my job. I love being an attorney. I love being the voice for the voiceless. I love that so much. I'm a trial lawyer all day. I love it. Okay. So when he said, notice you didn't say that, I was like, what'd you say? So I thought about it. He gave me this wonderful exercise. I highly recommend it. He said, put on sticky notes, put in your journal. Your whole life is, what do I want to do? Who am I? What do I want to do? Put it everywhere. And since I've paid these people lots of money, I decided to do exactly what he said. And that was around maybe March or April, somewhere around that time of the year. And I put sticky notes everywhere saying, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Went on with my legal life, trialing, going to court, talking to clients, just fine. My son, who's into science like I was, wanted to go to Kennedy Space Center. So we go to Kennedy Space Center. Listen, I'm nerding out. It's my husband, parents, my sons, both of them. We're walking around Kennedy Space Center and I'm like, it's Disney World to me, okay? And so we go around the day and finally we're on the bus touring all the launch pads. I'm nerding it out with the driver, talking about how this is launch pad, whatever. This is SpaceX 39B, all just the things. I'm nerding out, right? I said nerding out, totally. Okay? Everybody's on the sleep. Everybody else is asleep. Okay? My husband asleep, kids asleep, on the bus. Maybe it was a long day. Maybe it was boring. I don't know. But that's what we were doing. So we made the decision to do one final exhibit, the Atlantis exhibit. So we mosey on to the Atlantis, the last exhibit before we leave for the day. They have you in this room. You're standing there watching a video about the space shuttle Atlantis. And it is, that's the granddad of all the space shuttles. If you like space shuttles, you like the Atlantis. Mostest. It's the bestest of all. Okay. All right. So I'm nerding out. I'm watching the video. It's magnificent. It's riveting. It's exciting. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the video, they open these big red theater-like curtains and it looks like the space shuttle Atlantis is flying into the room. I was like, oh! I didn't get that loud, but I was like, whoa! And my son, he pulled me. He was like, Mom. And I was like, I moved it. There were, rows of people in front of me. I moved out of the way, cleared the way, because I did not know that the actual, original, one of a kind, the space shuttle Atlantis was actually in the Atlantis exhibit. And I know what you're thinking. If it was called the Atlantis, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't know that, but I didn't know that until then. Oh my, I nerded. I took pictures, even though it was my son's birthday, with me in the Atlantis alone. I read every word in the exhibit. I watched every video. I touched every knob. I had tears in my eye looking at the space shuttle of Atlantis because all I could think about was my childhood and wanting to go where no one has ever gone before. It was amazing. And finally, my 9-year-old, I believe he was at the time, pulled me and said, hey, it's my birthday, Mom. All right, so we left. And so the next morning, I had to drive back to Tampa because I had court that morning. And anyone who's driven from Kennedy or Orlando to Atlanta knows I-4. And I-4, Interstate 4, traffic is completely unpredictable. So I was leaving at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for like an 8 or 9 o'clock court call. Because, I mean, it could take an hour and a half. It could take 4 hours. Can't be late for court. So it's the middle of the night. I'm driving across I-4. And then all of a sudden, and I'm so thankful for, but all of a sudden it flashed into my head. Posters on my wall of the space shuttles when I was younger. Photographs of the space shuttle. I remembered the conversation with my dad about joining the Air Force. And I had not thought about that conversation in 20. And it came to me, all of us, what I wanted and who I wanted to be. And it was always, I wanted to fly fighter jets, fly space shuttles. That's what I really wanted to do. And here I am, loving my career, absolutely blessed and grateful that I get paid to allow me to advocate when they tell. But it hit me. And I remember that I was a waitress at TGI Fridays. We were the best restaurant, really the only one other than the seafood restaurant in Tampa International Airport while I was a student at USF. And it flashed in my head, and was the gut, that when I worked at TGI Fridays, when I was a student at USF, at those times, it was free to park in airport parking garages. But now here in Atlanta, it's like $100 to park in the parking garage for a day. But I would literally drive into the parking garage of Tampa International. I would sit on the hood of my Honda Accord, lean back with my arms. All I would do was watch the planes take off. And that was my happy. There's also a beach like right by the airport in Tampa that you can see the planes on approach. And I would go there. And that was always my favorite beach. Never dawned on why that was my peaceful, happy place. And it's because I love aviation. I love watching planes take off. One of the most exciting moments, and this is one of the exercise he gave me, like, when are you most excited? And it's like right when you're taxiing and you're flying on a commercial airliner and you go to, the taxiway, and when they turn from the taxiway onto the runway, I get excited. I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, I'm wondering, how fast are we going to take off this time? We're going to take off, we're going to turn left, we're going to turn right, we're going to go straight. What are we going to do? It's exciting to me. That's how I realized that I loved aviation. And at my big age, a fighter jet pilot, but I could still be a commercial pilot and I could still fly. So I'm grateful because I got to uncover a hidden love. And it's taking me years now, and I'm still very low hour pilot, but I'm enjoying every moment. So that's how I got from law to now my new hobby of aviation.